Dungeon Smash is what I like to call a super fast-paced princess rescuer, monster basher, demon slayer, twin-stick axe thrower game with RPG elements. In Dungeon Smash, you play a heroic character who must face seemingly insurmountable odds and, with extreme heroism, defeat the wicked and save the innocent. So the game is set in the ancient lands of Epash and tells the story of the Five Kingdoms, and these nations have been at war with each other for as long as anyone can remember. They've now come together to sign a peace treaty, and they've sent their 5 princesses as a sign of trust to sign this peace treaty and usher in a new era of peace and prosperity throughout the land. While they're gathered in the city, darkness falls across the city, and demons, goblins and gremlins pour forth out of portals and attack the city, burning it to the ground and abducting the princesses. The heroes, as close friends of the princesses, go forth to rescue them. As they progress through the game, they discover a little bit more about who the abductor is. And how the player responds to learning about this dictates how the final encounter with the abductor plays out. There are 4 different playable characters. There's the gladiator, who is huge and incredibly strong. His primary weapon is the sword, and he also has a large bronze shield. He's peerless in close combat. He can defeat pretty much any enemy in close combat. And if he needs to hold a corridor or hold a position, his shield gives him excellent defense. The assassin is a strong, super fast female character whose abilities are mainly to do with speed of attacks. She also has a dagger, which you can pick up later, and her acid bomb attack, which causes a splash of acid on the ground, which the monsters will keep out of, so she is keeping enemies at bay. She will also pick up a stealth ability, which will allow her to avoid enemies, and a set traps ability. The paladin character is a warrior priest clad head to toe in full plate armour. He has the ability to stun creatures whenever he strikes them. He's also good in close combat, and later in the game he will get the ability to bless his friends, heal them as well if they are damaged, and also provide a holy circle which will provide extra protection. The final character is the Warlock, who is a fey elfin lady who is adept in the dark arts. She starts the game quite weak, but she's very quick on her feet, and you have to be to avoid the enemies because she's quite weak. And she starts the game with the magic missile spell, which is fast but does little damage. Then she gets flame spell, which is really devastating to large, densely packed creatures, as you can imagine. So the player starts the game in the first level of a dungeon. They progress through about 20 levels of the game, 20 or 30 levels, and progressing through a dungeon, all that involves is finding stairs down to the next level. Along the way, they are faced with enemies who spawn out of spawners, and the tactics of the game are to destroy the spawners before they start sprouting more enemies. You get experience points for defeating monsters, and you also can pick up treasure, either from pots on the ground or treasure chests, which require puzzles to solve too. That treasure and the experience points are then used to upgrade your character. Every 4 or 5 levels you'll rescue a princess, and those levels are like a designed level, but the in-between levels are very varied. So each time you play the game, it's a different game. Once the player has finished the Princess's Tale, they unlock the Dark Tower, where a player can play for as long as they want, and they compete to accumulate as many points as they possibly can. And these online scoreboards should help drive competition between players to see who achieve the highest score. The release date is going to be the 1st of July 2013, and it's going to be released on Xbox Live Indie Games and potentially on PC platform as well.